If you've been watching Formula One for years, you probably feel it too. Something is off in 2026, and no one is really talking about it. I'm not saying this as a casual fan. I'm saying this as someone who genuinely loves Formula One. But right now, F1 feels less exciting than it should. And that's hard to admit. Let's be honest for a second. Races are getting predictable. Strategies feel repetitive. And most of the time, you already have a pretty clear idea of what's going to happen before the race even starts. It's like the surprise factor is disappearing. And that's a big problem, because Formula One was never just about speed. It was about tension. It was about uncertainty. It was not about uncertainty. It was about not knowing who would come out on top. Now, that feeling is fading. The gap between teams is still too big. Some teams are fighting for wins, while others are just trying to survive the race. And when one driver or one team dominates for too long, it kills the excitement. Doesn't matter how talented they are. It doesn't matter how impressive it looks. If the result feels inevitable, people lose interest. And you can feel it. Not just in the races, but in the way fans react. There's less tension, less hype, less of that anything can happen energy. And look, this isn't hate. That's the important part. Real fans don't complain because they dislike the sport. They complain because they care. Because they know how incredible Formula One can be. We miss the wheel-to-wheel battles. We miss the unpredictable strategies. We miss those chaotic races where everything could change in a single lap. We miss being surprised. Now sometimes, it feels like we're just watching things play out exactly how we expected. And that takes away part of the magic. If you've been watching F1 for a long time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a time when everything felt more alive. Strategy mattered more. Driver skill stood out more. And randomness played a bigger role. Now it feels more controlled. Too clean. Too calculated. Too predictable. And yeah, the cars are faster than ever. The technology is insane. But let me ask you something. Are the races actually more exciting? Because speed alone doesn't create emotion. Uncertainty does. Competition does. Risk does. And that's what feels like it's missing sometimes. But at the same time, let's not ignore the good things. Formula One is still an incredible sport. There are still amazing drivers. Still incredible overtakes. Still moments that remind us why we fell in love with it in the first place. And when those moments happen, they're still special. The problem is, they don't happen as often as they used to. And that's why people start questioning things. That's why fans feel disconnected sometimes. Not because F1 is bad, but because we've seen how great it can be. And we know it can be better. So now the real question is this. Is Formula One actually getting worse in 2026? Or are we just expecting it to feel like it used to? Maybe the sport changed. Maybe we changed as fans. Or maybe it's a bit of both. But I want to hear from real fans, not casual viewers, not people following trends. Real fans. Do you think Formula One today is better or worse than before? Be honest. Comment below. And if you're here for real discussions about Formula One, not hype, not fake narratives, follow this channel, because this is where real fans speak.